channel. Today I'm going to be doing the TBR Book Tag. Now I originally saw this tag on Bookables. The original tag was by a perfectionist called Books, and I will link both of them down below. This is actually a tag that I've never done before, and I thought it would be fun to do because my TBR is never ending always. So let's just jump right into it. How do you keep track of your TBR pile? Okay, so there are 3 places that I keep books that I want to read, and the first is Goodreads because I have a list on there of stuff that I want to read. I've also got stuff on my Nook that I have in my wish list pile for my shopping cart that are things that I want to read. And then I also have my Overdrive app that I use for library that has a lot of books on it too. So there's like, and it's funny because they're not all the same things. You'd think they would all just repeat, but there's like different things that I want in each place depending on what is. Is your TBR mostly print or ebooks? Definitely ebooks. I very seldom buy actual physical books these days just because we live in Spain and I can't read in Spanish books, so if I want to actually like buy a book I have to order it online anyway, so it's just easier to get the ebook. Most of the books behind me are ones that I brought when we moved here. So how do you determine which book from your TBR to read next? This honestly changes like as I'm reading. I've tried to make lists before of books that I want to read next, and I end up like getting to that book and then deciding that I don't want to read it and I want to read whatever I'm on. Right now I've been reading a lot of like series books, so I generally gravitate to whatever's next in the series or other books by that author, and then I kind of just flounce around from book to book, and that's kind of how it goes. Usually when I get to a point where I'm not sure what I'm going to read next, then I start going to my lists to see what else is on there. A book that's been on your TBR list the longest. Oh gosh. I mean, there's some books that have been on there for a while, like forever. Like some of the books sitting behind me, like I've had them forever and I haven't read them yet. A book you recently added to your TBR. I most recently started reading the Marked Men series by Jay Crownover, and I absolutely love it. So like I read Rule, and then I added Jet and all of the other guys to my list, so they're all like currently in line on my TBR. And then I also have Lick checked out by Kylie Scott, so I need to read that because I think I have like 6 or 7 days until it's going to drop out of my e-library, and then I'm going to have to check it out again, so I really need to read that one too. So a book in your TBR strictly because of its beautiful cover. I mean, most of my books are ebooks, so I don't really see the cover for very long. Like it sits in my ebook library, and then I don't really... I mean, I wouldn't say that there's necessarily a book sitting in my TBR just because of the cover, but I would say that when I'm looking for something to read, the covers, like if it's pretty, will attract me. Like the Rule, I had seen that book, it kept like showing up in my recommended from all the books that I've been reading, and I kept seeing the cover and I was like, So that one was on my TBR for a while before I finally gave in and found it. An unpublished book on your TBR that you're excited for. Royally Endowed by Emma Chase is coming out in August, I believe. Maybe it's July, I don't remember. But I very recently added that to my pre-orders. So that book is currently sitting in my TBR, and I cannot wait to finish that series. A book on your TBR that basically everyone's read but you. I have everything on my TBR, and I really want to read it, but I'm very much in the, I've been like stuck in this like new adult romance world, and I don't want to like venture outside of it right now because I feel very content in what I've been reading, and so I haven't really ventured back to a lot of YA stuff that I still have on my TBR, and that's one of those that's on my TBR, and I would love to read it, and I absolutely love the cover. That's probably, if I had to, something about the cover, that one definitely like saw the cover and I was like, I need to read that. But yes, that's probably the one that I've heard the most about that I have not read that is on my TBR. A book on your TBR that you're dying to read. I really want to read, a friend recommended A Beautiful Disaster to me a while ago, and when I went to go look for it on the e-library, it had like 20 some people waiting in line to check it out because it's an e-library, yeah, but you still have to like actually wait for it to come back in because they only have so many virtual copies, I guess. But there was like 20 some people waiting in line for that book, and so I've been like anticipating reading this book and it being amazing. And I haven't read it yet because I got sucked into the Marked Men series, but it's actually sitting in my e-library now. I actually have it checked out. I have like 20 days to read it, so I'm not worried about it, but I need to read that and I'm really like looking forward to it, so I hope it doesn't let me down. How many books are on your Goodreads TBR shelf? Let's look. My Goodreads to read shelf has 191 books. So there's a nice little dent there. Let's see how many my Nook wish list has. My Nook wish list has 226 books on it. So there's quite a lot just hanging around for me to read. Okay, well that's it for this tag. If you guys are watching, officially consider yourself tags, and if you like tag videos, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and I hope you guys have an amazing day, I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bye!